All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another edition of Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn and my special guest today, Mr. Jarvis Gray. Jarvis, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Kevin. I'm good, man. It's great to see you and
Yes, sir.
honored to be talking with you as always, man.
Oh, man, same here, my friend. Back to you 100% on that one for sure. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you may be wanting to know what's Power Connections all about. Well, we bring in powerful people like Brother Jarvis Gray, ladies and gentlemen, who knows what he's talking about as it relates to strategy in business, in life, in even if you're working somewhere, even in your career, ladies and gentlemen, he can help you out in that area. We're going to be talking more about that in the business world today. Our focus today, though, guys, is to help you in business. We want your business to grow, to sustain and build up, okay? Guess what? But you're going to need a little help. You're going to need a little help. And that's what Mr. Jarvis is here for today. Mr. Gray's here for today. We're going to help you grow, get the right information. We want you to contact also to Mr. Gray through his network here. You guys can see that hopefully. If not, let me know. But definitely there. All his contact information is there. I'm going to read a little bit about his bio. But before we go there, we want you to understand, folks, Power Connections is about bringing in powerful people that know what they're talking about in specific areas, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to get rid of this wonderful music there, that's for sure for right now. And so we can keep it moving here, possibly. Yeah, there we go. Let me go ahead and work this technology here. Thank you so much for that. All right, that's enough of that intro music. Hey guys, so what we're going to talk about as business owners, right? We're all business owners that most of us are listening today, own a business or want to start a business. Everybody, without a doubt, wants to make money. You got to make money. If you're not in business, Jarvis, guess what? I mean, if you're not making money, you're not in business, folks. So we got to make a profit, right? We got to have also clients. Jarvis can help us there as well. Customers, we're going to talk about exposure, how you get more exposure. Contracts, more contracts all across the network, folks. We're talking about in the United States and internationally. More speaking engagements if you're a speaker, and of course, more growth in general, without a doubt. Hey guys, also too, from my quick notes here, SBA loans. Jarvis, I just looked up real quickly. SBA loans are available for those who qualify. 100 billion still available. $100 billion still available for SBA loans. Bank for capital. Jarvis had the pleasure of meeting and talking to two banks, Truist and also I think it was Citizens Bank. And they told us of the key areas that people got to get ready for this money. But ladies and gentlemen, there's money for bank loans if you're qualified, venture capitalists if you qualify, grants if you qualify, and contracts. And we're going to talk a little bit about that a little later on, but I want to give you a little groundwork there before we talk to Brother Jarvis about the area of starting your business, stabilizing your business, sustaining your business, and also scaling up your business as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, Jarvis, before I read your bio, any opening comments or anything you want to say to the network out there?
Well, I mean, other than just simply a thank you, Kevin, again, just for the opportunity. You know, you and I have a great history and the chance to reconnect and see all the great work you're doing and supporting, our small business market right now. I just want to give you kudos for having the vision and taking the leadership stance as well. So appreciate it and look forward to just adding value in any way possible.
Oh, thank you so much. You definitely do that, Jarvis Gray. You definitely do that, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's here today on the network. He adds value to your life and to my life as well. So we're excited about that. Hey, let me get started here because Jarvis's and my time is very valuable today. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Jarvis Gray, business strategist, advisor, entrepreneur, coach. Ladies and gentlemen, he can help you. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Jarvis brings nearly 20 years of strategic planning, process improvement, and business coaching leadership experience to the Power Connection Show. Yes, he does. Jarvis has been a reliable partner with highly notable organizations across the healthcare, utility, and small business industries, earning a reputation as a go-to resource for facilitating strategic sessions, ladies and gentlemen, training workshops through events. They are so good. He's very, very good at that area, ladies and gentlemen, in the area of training and teaching. Jarvis has a passion for guiding business leaders in the fundamentals of business and operational excellence. His effectiveness in directing, coaching executives on the business growth principles has generated 9 million in new revenue opportunities for small business clients in 2022 alone. Wow, that's a feat by itself, folks, as we know what's been going on in 2022, 2021, ladies and gentlemen. as well. When he is not coaching leaders, he is found constantly developing content, providing training or on organizational network events, organizing network events, and promoting the foundation for building a world-class organization. Ladies and gentlemen, his direct information is up here on the screen. If you hope you can see that. If not, I'll make sure you all get that. But we're going to make sure you have access to that. I want you guys to not only share this out, I want you to listen intently to this area, to this show today with Mr. Gray. And also I want you to contact him as required for your business, okay? For your business, whether speaking engagements, he can also speak at your organizations, groups, and associations, your church, ladies and gentlemen, your business team, whatever you got guys going on. You can talk to your family. I love talking to families too, Jarvis. We can talk to your family via Zoom or live, whatever it takes to help you guys get the information that we want to share with you today. Our goal is to help you build your business, folks. I want you to focus on your business. A lot of you are listening right now have businesses either right now you're working, or new businesses that you would like to start. That's what we're going to talk about today. Well, with that said, I want you guys to welcome Mr. Jarvis Gray to Power Connections with Kevin Bond. Jarvis, let's talk a little bit about startup and anything you want to start up in that area. Because what would you say to our new business owners that want to start a business?
If you want to start a new business, I mean, if you've been thinking about it for a while, you go into work every day, you hate every minute of what it takes when you go to work and the people you deal with, colleagues, customers, clients. Now's the best time ever. I know it feels scary. I know there's a lot going on in the world, but I would personally say, you know, they say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So if you're thinking about starting, right now is the best time to start. And there's a number of ways to just get started, whether, you know, kind of building your business while you're still working a full-time job. Or I literally just got off the call earlier today with someone who got hit hard during the pandemic, and now they are restarting. Right. So again, there are so many scenarios, but getting started is the hard part.
Yes, it is. Yeah, exactly. And Jarvis, you know, so important. This is what you taught me. And I kind of knew some of this, but you kind of honed in on this as planning. I want my new entrepreneurs to have a plan. Can you please talk about how important it is to have a plan on paper, not only in your wonderful brains, folks, your wonderful mind, but you got to have it on paper. Jarvis, this is probably the biggest area my clients are missing, that they don't have a plan. They got it all in their head, but I said, have you written it down? No. They don't even know what their product costs in some cases, you know, so we got to make sure they do that correctly. But can you talk about planning, please, sir, a little bit, just a little bit?
Yeah, Kevin, man, that is so important to your point. Again, I just got off the phone with a young entrepreneur who had a plan. They paid someone else to write it. So not even in their own vision, their voice. But more times than not, I've seen entrepreneurs that do not have a plan. And you know, there's a classic quote again, right? If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. But now this is where I'll deviate a little bit from kind of the traditional stuff we're taught as entrepreneurs and business leaders.
Yeah.
So having a business plan is pointless. What I tell everyone is you need a business development cycle.
There you go.
Which means that we need to have a process built within our business so that we are continuously planning.
Yeah.
So I don't want the one time, you know, here's my business plan, and then you do it and you put it on the shelf and it's collecting dust. There's no value to that.
Right.
But if I strategically build in a process where weekly, monthly, quarterly, I'm going back to my business development plan to see what progress I'm making as I start to get my business up, running, gaining momentum. Now it's turning revenue. Now that revenue starts to grow into profit, right? We move beyond break evens. You know, that's a process, and having a strategic planning, a business planning process in your business is absolutely essential. I would say 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs that I talk with, unfortunately, do not have them built. And I'll say most of my clients are, you know, Black business owners and Black entrepreneurs. And again, 9 out of 10, almost maybe 10 out of 10, we don't take that. So that's one of the starting blocks I have with all my clients. You know, we have to develop that planning process. So the very first question that I'm asking, Kevin, is what's your exit strategy, right? So you're getting ready to start a business, but how is that business going to move on after you? And you
Absolutely.
basically only have three options, right? You could either pass it on,
Yep.
you can try to license or franchise it, depending on what's appropriate,
Yeah.
or it's going to die,
Yeah. Right.
right? So those are your only three options. So going ahead and planning with the end in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, today, I'm 42.
Yeah.
If I'm fortunate, I'll be working in my business for at least maybe another 30 or so years, but I already know what I want to do with my business in 30 years. So now everything I'm doing today
Yeah.
is to get me to that point 30 years from now.
Exactly.
Now I have my 30-year goals to my 20 to my 10-year goals,
Yeah.
and I break those down into 3 years and 1 year. And then even that 1 year model, I'm still breaking that down into four
Yeah.
quarters, right? Just like a football
Yeah.
game, right? We're
Yeah.
in the heart of football season.
Yeah.
So break your goals down into quarterly goals for the next 12 weeks, right? We're about to hit October, the
Mm-hmm.
last quarter of this calendar year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are the 2 or 3 things that I need to do today
Mm-hmm.
that will add back up to where I need to be 30 years from now? That's a big picture planning process.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have to figure out how to build those into our businesses for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is critical. What Jarvis just said is so critical, folks, for all our entrepreneurs, business owners. I'm serious, folks. This is so critical. Nobody builds a 7-star hotel without a plan, without knowing exactly every day what's got to happen to make things happen. Every month, every week, certain things got to happen. If you're building a 7-star hotel, and this is your business I'm talking about now, you got to know what's going on. You got to know where things are going, where the steps are going, where the glass, the type of glass. You got to really know that, ladies and gentlemen. That's where Jarvis comes in at, and I want you guys to contact him as soon as possible for an appointment so you can learn more about the strategic plan as we talk about starting your brand new business. And guess what, Jarvis? We want you to start it correctly. When I first started in business years ago, I didn't really know. You knew you had to get your license and all that kind of stuff, Jarvis, but I really didn't know what it took to be legal, in a business. I had my LLC, but I had some things missing. So we don't want you to miss anything because, guys, the money that's out there, contracts are out there, it's all tied to you having your business set up properly. If you have the application and you don't have an employee, guess what? You're not going to necessarily get the money that you need. If you don't have your business structured properly, they're going to say, well, Mr. Vaughn, I know you're a nice guy, but we can't help you today, And we're talking about millions, thousands of dollars that you can get to help grow your business. We call it capital, folks, and every business needs capital today.
Absolutely.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Power Connections with Mr. Jarvis Gray, ladies and gentlemen. He is a business strategist, advisor, and one of the best entrepreneurial coaches on the planet. Hey, Jarvis, let's talk about stabilizing. Now, we're talking about people now who are in business. You've been in business for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about that a little bit to those seasoned businesses that maybe we'll give them 2-3 years. They've been in business, but they're just not really stabilized or up and down in the business. What's stabilization in a business mean, sir, for us today?
Yeah, that's when you are starting to find the balance between, your revenues and your profits. So with all of my, all of the business owners that I support, all of my clients,
Yeah.
we all know that revenues feed your egos, but profits feed your families, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to get them profitable as quickly as possible. So, I imagine, Kevin, there's a mix of business leaders watching, our conversation today.
Yes, sir.
So understanding based on your products and your services, what's your break even? How quickly can you get to stabilization in business? That's your break even.
Yeah.
And then what does it take to get beyond break even?
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of my clients, I coach the concept of the 80-20 rule for business.
Yeah.
Right. So what are the 20% of strategies that can help you create the 80% of your stabilization revenue? And for a lot of what we're focused on, it really comes down to 5 key areas. It's going to be around your business development or your business foundations, like we started off talking a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, what are your key processes to generate more leads, right? And we're not just talking about any old leads, but we're talking about your ideal customers, your ideal clients, and how do you really attract them to your business?
Yeah.
And then after that, how do you create more conversions? And when I say conversions, Kevin, I'm saying, how do you get them to become a client or a customer that pays in full and on time, right? We're not doing discounts. We're not doing the layaway plans or anything. We
Exactly.
need our customers, our ideal customers, to come through and pay us the value of what we're giving them through our products and services.
Yep.
Then how do we develop the right relationship so we can garner multiple transactions?
Yeah.
And then how do we increase the perceived value of what we're doing so we can increase our prices?
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, again, the focus on profits.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we need those margins to be as big as possible. A lot of small business owners I connect with, again, they want $1 million business.
Right.
But what if you had a business making $250,000 a year, but your profit margins were 80%, 60%, right?
Yeah.
That could equate to being so much stronger than $1 million business where your margins might be 20 or 30%.
Exactly.
So again, understanding your numbers is how you start to push into the world of stability, and understanding key processes across those 5 that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
That'll go a long way for sure.
Oh, I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with my special guest, Jarvis Gray. We talk about business, folks. We believe, matter of fact, I know in Texas, Jarvis, you probably know the number better, but I think it was like 1 million people said, I ain't going back to work. It's probably across the land, it's probably about 6 or 7 million or more now that says, I ain't going back to work because they got to do something else. So the realization of being a business owner is getting very, very prominent. I'm excited for everybody who says, man, I can do this by myself, or I could do this as a business, if you will, that type of thing. So whatever that is for you, we were here to help you. We just want you to properly set up your business. That's all we want to do. Properly set up so you can go after these contracts, folks. I'm gonna tell you, there's so many contracts out there right now. I'm talking about from the county that you live in, to the city, to the state, to the federal. Contracts are waiting for you right now. I know just in the city of Atlanta, the city that I'm in, they got contracts. If you're qualified, they're not going to give me the contract, folks, because I'm a nice guy, or I've done pretty good on my business. They're going to ask you for the numbers. What are your numbers? Where's your team? What's your let me see the resumes of your team. Do you have how much are you going to charge me? I've had people, Jarvis, tell me they didn't even know what to charge. They just picked a number, $100 an hour. Well, maybe it should be $200 an hour. They didn't know for sure. They just picked a good number. But they didn't really know what that number meant. So our here is to make sure, guys, that you set up your number properly. Hey, as we move on, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Jarvis Gray, one of the best strategists in business, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, on the planet. Let's talk about sustainability, Jarvis, a little bit, because we know a lot of businesses. I think it was in the Black business, ladies and gentlemen, I think it was 1.2 million Black-owned businesses could not sustain themselves during the pandemic. It just could not continue. 30 days later, they could not do it, and they didn't have a plan. And of course, we're not blaming anybody. We're just saying we got to now in the future, we got to know how to sustain our business in those rainy days in those areas that we may not know about. Can we talk a little bit about that today, Jarvis, on sustainability, my friend?
Yeah, Kevin, man, again, perfect question and perfect setup that just builds on the points that we've already made. So starting with your business development, your business planning, understanding what are the key strategies through your foundations to lead generation, lead conversions, transactions, higher prices and value to profits. Then when we start talking about sustainability long-term, a lot of that comes to having the right policies, procedures, and protocols standardized within your business. So, you'll appreciate this for sure, Kevin, with our backgrounds in operational excellence.
Yes, sir.
But this is where, our key processes, they got to be documented, right? We have to literally take the exercise of killing yourself in your business. So if I disappear for 2 weeks or 2 months in my business, can the business survive without me? If Kevin came and took over my business, can Kevin figure out what was going on so that he could be successful? So that requires us documenting all of those key processes around our strategy, our operations, our financial processes, our human resource processes, right? We have to have that out of our brains and onto paper or into an electronic system somewhere so that our teams can figure it out, other people can figure it out. And again, I said, starting with the end in mind, right? So if you all have desires to franchise your business or license your business, you're not going to be able to sell it for top value until you have all those processes documented so that the next person can pick it up and replicate your success.
Mm-hmm.
So that stabilization right there is now we have to take everything we've been doing, the hustle mindset and
Yeah.
the grinding, we have to standardize that and turn it into systems.
Yeah.
And the famous acronym for systems is that it's something or a process or an approach that saves you stress, time, energy, and money, right? The acronym from systems
Mm-hmm.
saves you stress, time, energy, and money.
Yeah.
And when you can do that within your business, then you're doing something very well. So that's the concept also from going from that self-employed mindset
Yeah.
to building these systems to where now you really are a business owner.
Yeah.
You can go to sleep at night and your business is still set up in a way that it can operate without you or make money while you sleep.
Yeah, powerful, powerful. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very critical that Jarvis just gave and laid out for us today as we talk about your business, folks, your business. We want you to grow. We want you to also not be frustrated. And most of the time, people are frustrated because they don't know, right? They don't know what to do. Jarvis is going to help you know exactly what you need to do, folks, is get your business up to start, stabilization, and also sustainability, as we're talking about right now. You know, Jarvis, as you were talking, I was just thinking, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that Dr. Watson talks about, who's the founder of the Black Mastermind Group, who we're going to talk about later on, so you guys can go to that website and check it out. She talked about no more hobbies, hookups, and hustles, folks. You got to get out of that mentality. No, and Jarvis mentioned it earlier, no more freebies, no more discounts, for everybody. Nothing wrong with discounts, but you can't have everybody discount, you can't everybody getting the hookup in the hobbies, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta be able to treat yourself as a business. And this is what Jarvis, and I know you know this already, this is what the banks were saying. The people were coming in like the bank was a hobby hookup for something. They had no idea how they were going to return the money. They're going to loan you money and you got to know how to pay it back, folks. If you don't have that plan in place, they're just going to say, Mr. Vaughn, you're a nice guy and take care of your family, but we can't help you today. You're going in there asking for 50,000, maybe 20, 30,000, whatever, for a new truck for your business or whatever. Guess what? They're saying, Mr. Vaughn, we can't do it. You don't qualify for that type of loan. You may have to go to the family, something to get the little hookup. But seriously though, folks, we want to make sure that you're correct and ready to go. There's so much money out there for you right now. Literally, the federal government has billions of dollars ready. But all they're saying, Jarvis, as you know, that most of the people coming in just don't qualify it. They have to take your application, but you don't qualify it. Because if you don't get that money, that means something is missing. And guess what you got to do? You got to find out what was missing in the application. And then you got to go learn it. That's where Jarvis comes in, ladies and gentlemen. You got to contact Mr. Jarvis Gray, one of the best strategists in business that can help you and help you grow as well. And Jarvis, I want to talk about a little bit. People need to have a budget for us as well. Can you talk about that a little bit? They need to be able to afford you your time. Is that a good statement there?
Well, absolutely. And that's a budget again. Well, that's a part of that planning cycle that we talked about, right? Kevin, man, I can honestly say that I would not be positioned where I am in my business without the support of a coach. And of course, to be able to pay for the coach, I had to put the money aside. I had to plan on it. So now, to my business owners watching, how do you start to set money aside for different investments within your business? Whether it's coaching or any other services, even marketing. So many small businesses that I come across, they don't have a budget for marketing even. And the quickest way to get your business known is to market it. So yeah, absolutely. We have to budget for success. One of the things I do with all my clients is also create what we call a revenue plan. So on a monthly basis, let's call it, based on your products, your services, your pricing strategy, how many clients do you truly need to flow your revenues appropriately, right? And this is completely, not thinking about the cost, the expenses just yet, but just how do we start to make revenue? That's an important thing. And that can also play into that budgeting process. If I know with predictability, I'm going to land 2 or 3 new clients at a certain price point, right? Then we can plan our finances appropriately, but very essential for a small business, especially, we have to plan those things.
Yeah, powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you're just joining us, folks, this is Power Connections with my wonderful guest today, Mr. Jarvis Gray, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, he's a business strategist, advisor, and entrepreneurial coach, one of the best on the planet, no doubt about that. One thing, Jarvis, I got to ask you about in general, just in general, for those starting a business or maybe growing their business and maybe working it by themselves or maybe with the husband and wife team or whatever, can you talk about having a team? Can you generally talk who has to be on my team? When I'm the owner and creator and all that good stuff, but who has to be on my team to really help my business grow?
Yeah, so the teaming is absolutely essential. Developing that organizational chart
Yeah,
or who's going to be the visionary and kind of
yeah,
craft strategy, who's going to manage operations,
yeah,
finances, human resources. Those are key positions that are
yeah,
required in every business.
yeah,
So again, part of your planning process, if you're doing it right,
yeah,
is to go ahead and lay out that model. If you're not doing it right, still, most of us
yeah,
are CEOs, and I call it the chief everything officer.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if you think you're the chief everything officer, you're the person who has to, go find the leads and then
mhm,
convert the leads into sales and then service those leads.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's time to start looking at a team, and you simply just break down,
yep,
one of the most powerful tools any business owner can have, Kevin,
yeah.
are these right here, sticky notes,
I love it.
right?
Yes, sir.
So every function that you are doing in your business, if you
Yeah,
are making phone calls, you're doing social media posts,
yeah,
you're providing the actual service or the products, you're
yeah.
mailing it out, whatever the case is,
Mm-hmm.
write them down individually on a postcard and put them up on a wall.
Yeah, yeah,
And then start to organize them by the different function. If all of these look like HR functions, all of
right.
these look like
Yeah,
finance functions, these are operations.
yep,
I mean, that's something every business owner, once you hear these words, you can't unhear them.
yeah,
So, go
yeah.
do that. Take an hour out your day and just use some sticky notes, worst case scenario. But
Oh, I love it.
that's how you start building that team model, Kevin.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we have them on Power Connections today, ladies and gentlemen. So Jarvis Gray just laid out your general team. Come on, guys. We want you guys to be successful. We want you to get
It
those $1
costs you
million.
$1 at the dollar store right here.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it, man. I love it. It's really simple, folks, but it does take some work, folks. It does take some work, take some strategy. It takes some thinking about, and you can do it, no doubt about it. And you may need a little help. That's why Mr. Gray is here today, ladies and gentlemen, to help you out in that area as well. Hey, guys, real quick, let's do a quick commercial break for those who are listening across the globe, because a lot of you guys love to go to websites. Hey, you can go to Jarvis Gray's business website, QCCBusinessSolutions.com. That's QCCBusinessSolutions.com. Folks, I would highly recommend you guys pin that one, check it out, and set up an appointment with him as soon as possible. Once again, his business website is QCCBusinessSolutions.com. Okay. And we'll be giving out again before we leave today. Hey, Jarvis, we got about 15 more minutes with you today. We want to keep it moving today for sure. But folks, I want you to really have you understand a bit. You got to think like the big boys, folks. We talk about the Apples, the Walmarts. We always mention Microsofts, right? They have structure. Everything that Jarvis mentioned earlier, they had that in place, folks. But they didn't start off that big, of course, obviously, right? But they did start off with a plan. And the plan they build up now, Apple, $1 trillion company, Walmart, of course, billions of dollars, of course, as well per day. So that our goal is to get you where you want to be. And you may want to be just a 6-figure or a 5-figure. It don't matter. You still have to have the same structure. And guess what, Jarvis? We got to leave something to our family. You can't leave a hobby, hookup, and hustle in your will. You got to be able to have it structured, folks. So we ain't talking about that today, but that has to be structured. I'm going to leave something to my wife, to my family members, granddaughters, grandson. It's got to be structured properly and in order. And that's where Jarvis comes in. He can help you get ready for that. He talked about the tree, right? Planting that oak seed, right? Oak acorn. And later on, 20, 30 years from now, man, it's going to be a mighty, mighty oak tree as well and be able to sustain itself throughout the years to come. So I'm powerful. Hey, Jarvis, as we continue, as we talk about business owners, folks, we talk about you as an entrepreneur, wanting to be that true entrepreneur. It ain't no joke. I'm going to tell you that, but it is not a joke. You got to pull a lot of stuff out of you in order to make things happen. And a lot of you already know that as well. But now, Jarvis, we've got to start, stabilize, and sustain. Now I want to scale up. I'm going to talk to you 2-3 years from now and say, now, Mr. Jarvis, I want to franchise my business and I want to go to 8 figures. Talk about scalability, sir.
Yeah, that I love just all the connecting points you're building into our conversation, Kevin. So we talked about having the policies, procedures, the protocols, having all that documented within your within your business.
Mm-hmm.
What I also tell folks, one of the key things that you want to document, especially when you get more and more structure with your marketing, you got to have your sales process documented. You got to have your marketing process and the collateral that you've built over time.
Mm-hmm.
You want to save as much of that, if not, 100% of that.
Yeah.
So then when it's time to connect with the experts that can take you down the licensing and franchising path, then you can show them, hey, here's the marketing campaigns that I implemented that took my business to this level, right? Here are, the different sales processes. And when I say multiple, I mean, there needs to be the online sales process, the offline sales process, right? Not everything has to be through the internet. One of my favorite strategies are postcards. So, there has to be the mix of online and offline, but you have to show proof that you have these processes built within your business, that they work, they're effective. And then those experts, they'll take you down the path through, the licensing and the franchising. But again, this is with the mindset, start with the end in mind. So if I know that I want to franchise my business, again, the only options are franchise and license, pass it on, have a successor built into your process, or it falls apart. But that's what it starts to look like. I do want to highlight this too, is that, it doesn't even have to always just be the license and franchising. I do want to highlight strategic partnerships. So joint ventures, alliances, those are other ways that you can grow your influence within your industries. One of the examples that I usually use is, if you're a florist, right? So let's say if you're a florist, one of the biggest models that you have or biggest services that you offer is your ability to serve weddings. Well, think about the normal flow of a wedding, right? Nothing starts until somebody goes to buy a ring and she says, I do. And then after that, they may go find a wedding planner. They'll go find the church or the chapel where they're going to get married. The bride is going to go find her wedding dress. The groom's going to go find a tuxedo. Then they finally make their way into our business as the florist. And then after they leave us, they're going to go find the limousine, the honeymoon location, the cake. So there's a whole event chain that takes place. So now imagine if we as the florists, we start developing relationships with all of those businesses. And we do that in different markets. So today we're in Atlanta, but tomorrow we go open up a shop in Charlotte. And we do the same thing. And we open up a shop in Virginia. So that's another model when we're talking about scaling, is leveraging strategic relationships, just like that quick example. But when we understand who our customers and clients are, what are their buying processes and their buying habits, then we know who are the businesses they do business with before us, who do they do business with after us, and we can develop those relationships as well. And so those are just three thoughts. So licensing, franchising, and strategic partnerships and relationships. And those are just amazing ways. And guess what? The strategic partnerships specifically, they cost you nothing. There's no cost, no money needed to create that. That's just time and relationship building right there.
Absolutely. That's powerful, Jarvis. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, hey, those who are just joining us, this is Power Connection Series with Kevin Vaughn, our wonderful guest today, Jarvis Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of actually learning from him and working for him in the healthcare area. Ladies and gentlemen, just a tremendous honor to be to learn from him and to be a part of his network and knowledge of being a strategic player, if you will, not only just in business, but also in life as well. It's amazing, Jarvis, how you can take some of the concepts and put them in your own personal life to make you better, So I love it. It's powerful, powerful, powerful. Hey guys, we've been talking about your business. We want you to grow. We want you to understand there's a lot of money out there, but your business has to be set up properly. And that's where Jarvis Gray comes in, ladies and gentlemen. So guys, I want you to go to his website. Once again, his website is qccbusinesssolutions.com. Once again, qccbusinesssolutions.com. Guys, you'll be seeing this on the network. This video will be going out, or the Zoom will be going out on all about 20 different platforms from my end. and we're going to push this out so everybody on the planet can get a part of that as well. Also, too, John, I was going to ask you, do you work with any international businesses as well, or international clients?
I've had some, currently today, not any, but I've just developed an amazing relationship
Yeah.
with a group called One Full Circle. They're based out of Quebec, Canada.
Wow.
And they support
Yeah.
Black and melanated,
Yeah.
business leaders
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am working now. My roots, my family's from
Yeah.
the Bahamas originally, so I have a
Yeah.
lot of Caribbean ties.
Yeah.
So starting to reach out again. My passion is
Yeah.
really for Black and minority-owned businesses,
Yes.
women, and even veteran-owned. I mean, these are the groups that are hit hardest
Yeah.
in the world of entrepreneurship. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm starting to re-expand now that the world's opening back up again.
Yeah, exactly, sir. That's great. Good deal. Because the reason why I mentioned that, because I believe hopefully from this network here, you'll get some calls from the international world as well. So we're excited about that, specifically from my web talk and of course, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, but mainly from the other platforms that we're on as well. That's going to be powerful.
Awesome.
So we're just excited about that for you as well. Hey,
Well,
guys.
again, Kevin, I just have to jump in again and say congrats to you, man. Again, I've since we reconnected a few weeks back, I've went and did my research. Brother, I am so impressed. So just congratulations to all these networks. And I just want all the viewers to know that we called you our Chief Encouragement Officer back when we all worked together. So you are such, ambassador for small businesses all across the board, man. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much, Jarvis. And we're just back to you, my friend, as well, because, iron sharpens iron, Brother Jarvis. So we thank you so much for being who you are, and thank God for your wonderful family as well. Our goal is it's not always not about us, right? It's about other people, and it's about just getting better and better. We talked about this earlier with Dr. Carnes on another network. The goal was attitude. I've been working on my attitude for a long time.
Right.
My attitude every day, have a great attitude no matter what's going on. But guess what? That comes from being around people like Jarvis Gray, though, folks. It comes around just being sharpened every day, learning from other sharp people who are growing themselves as well. Also reading, right? Reading books and learning. Always be learning, folks. Learn your trade, learn your craft. Always be learning. And matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, Jarvis, there's some young people that are listening as well. Can you talk to our young people, young adults, I'll say, young adults that maybe are 20 and older? Can you talk to them that they're excited about their new ideas and business as well? But can you talk to our young people and encourage them a little bit, please?
Yeah, I mean, again, I said it before. If you're thinking about the idea, start it. I don't care what age you are.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old son, and this summer, while he was on summer break, he
Yeah.
started a business. So I'm following a few different folks online now who are all about the kidpreneur. That's what they're calling them now, Kevin.
Yeah.
So if you are at least 8 years old and above, one of my clients, her daughter is 13 and has a successful lip gloss business right now.
Yeah.
So again, 8 to 13s to early 20s. This is just a great opportunity, and I think the opportunity is even better for the younger folks with all the platforms that are out right now. It's such a natural fit to their culture, being younger entrepreneurs.
Right.
I love what you said about reading and taking the time to educate yourself. So first things first, entrepreneurship, I call it a full contact sport, right? You can read all day long, but you also have to do it to really appreciate it.
There you go.
But there's a lot of really good documents and books and things out there, a lot of good influencers who are out there. So so the thing I want to encourage is put time on your calendar every week, hopefully maybe at least 30 minutes every day, but maybe an hour to 3 hours every week. And I call it TTT, which is time to think. So just block that on your calendar, whatever that looks like. And again, that's maybe an entrepreneur at any age. That's where these thoughts are coming. But then the other thing is called TTM, and that's time to measure. So as a business owner, you got to know your numbers, right? So take time on a daily and or weekly basis. Take time to think, TTT, block it on your calendar, make that sacred time. And then time to measure. How many leads did I get this week? How many conversions? How much sales? Did I create new revenue, right? It can't be a surprise. It has to be predictable. But yeah, books, podcasts right now. I am a huge podcast advocate. So I always take time to think and take time to measure performance.
Oh, I love it. Powerful, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Jarvis is on with us today, ladies and gentlemen. This is our power player of the month, ladies and gentlemen. The month of October coming up. We're going to be pushing this out again, over and over again for you. Hey, this is our wonderful business strategist, advisor, entrepreneur, coach, one of the best, ladies and gentlemen. Jarvis Gray is with us today on Power Connections. Hey, guys, we got to let Jarvis go because he's got other things to do as we do. But finally, Jarvis, we've got a few more minutes here. I wanted to ask you about one of our favorite topics that you taught us in the past, working together. Next steps and action items. So what would you give us, anything you want to say on our next steps, anything you want to tell us that we should be doing right now as an entrepreneur? Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you again, Kevin. Again, I can't brag you up enough just for creating platforms like this for people to plug into. Hopefully I said something that resonates or strikes somebody in a positive way, but for next steps and action items, I would say the biggest takeaway, if you don't already have it, figure out how to build that planning process in your business. For me, I got lucky where in my corporate life, I had a mentor who taught me to look at myself like a business. And this was very, very early. I was about 27 at the time in my corporate life where she told me this. And so what I implemented then, well before my business, was I called it my personal fiscal year. So for me, my birthday is in September. So my personal fiscal year, I just started in September.
Exactly.
And then when I got to a point of having my own business, my business fiscal year now starts in September as well. But that marks the beginning of my planning cycle. And again, turning an annual cycle to 12-week blocks, right? Every quarter. Just like a football game. So I work hard for one full quarter. And then I take time to measure performance, just like a football game, right? They take a break at the end of a quarter. They go back to the locker room. They reassess their strategy, reassess the goals. They come back out for the second quarter. So that's a process I go through. And I just wanted to highlight that. So any business owner, you can copy that process at a minimum and get really clear. Where are you going for the next 12 weeks? And take a break, reassess. So that'll take you to the end of this calendar year, right around New Year's. Start your process again. Go for 3 more months, take a break, start the process again. But you can do a lot in 12 weeks. You just got to have clarity on what that looks like.
There you go. Having a plan, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's talking about right there. Having a plan. That's what we're excited about. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn and my wonderful guest today, Mr. Jarvis Gray. Well, you know, Jarvis, you got to come back. So no doubt about that at the proper time, man.
Anytime, man.
You're always welcome, man. Whenever you have something you want to say to the network, it don't have to be long, because we do some 15 minutes, we do 5 minutes, just anything that gets people fired up, but also specifically and hone in on what they need to do. We talk about being specific and strategic today, ladies and gentlemen, with my wonderful guest today. Hey, Jarvis Gray is with us, ladies and gentlemen, business strategist, advisor, and entrepreneurial coach, one of the best in the business. Hey, guys, I want you guys, everybody on the planet, if you're hearing this right now or later on, his website is QCCBusinessSolutions.com. That'll start you there on that journey. I highly recommend you set up an appointment as soon as possible. If you guys can read that, you guys should have took a picture of that already. Hopefully his direct sale numbers up there, business numbers up there, emails up there. He's on LinkedIn and also Alignable, ladies and gentlemen. Just check out the quality QCC Business Solutions. On LinkedIn, he's under Quality Coaching. On LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen, and on Alignable, which is another powerful platform, he's under the Quality Coaching .co, ladies and gentlemen, the Quality Coaching CO2 on Alignable. And if you guys need to have me send that information to you on how to get in touch with Mr. Gray, I will be glad to do that as well. But Jarvis, we at the time here. We want to give you your time back today, sir. Thank you so much for your time today. Any final closing comments, my friend?
No, it's my pleasure, again, to connect with anybody, especially if you've heard it here through Kevin. Kevin, I appreciate the time, and anytime I could come back and share more, man, I'm happy to do so.
Absolutely. Always welcome, sir. This is part of the network, and you're part of the network, and our goal is just to keep things flowing, folks. Keep it going, and knowledge is powerful, but only when applied, folks. We want to make sure we get the right knowledge out to you so you can utilize it and scale up your business and grow your business each and every day. Hey, Mr. Jarvis Gray from the network, we salute you, man. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate your time so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn. I know you guys took some notes. I want you guys to also listen to this over and over again. Have your young people listen to this. Give them a homework assignment and have them just call Dr. Gray there and talk to him. Give them a homework assignment. You may have to pay your children, right? But that's okay. Say, hey, Mr. Gray, I'd like to learn how to start my own little business here. But you can do all that. Just have some fun with that as well. Hey, this is Kevin Vaughn. You'll be seeing these guys on all the platforms soon. Again, we thank you so much for your time. We want you to have a wonderful day. Hey, let me leave you with this real quickly. Remember to always out-love, out-serve, and out-forgive each other. And remember that there's nothing you can't do. You put your mind to it. You can do everything you put your mind to, ladies and gentlemen, each and every day. Have a great day. We'll see you next time on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn. God bless you. Brother Gray, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.